The Olympic Games 2021 are just around the corner, and I wanted to take a moment and share my most important insights that I've gained from training for the 2012 Olympics and also what I've learned since then. Now, the most important thing, because I totally believe, and I learned that with time, right, is that the journey to greatness starts in our minds. And so the lesson number one that I have to share is really that if you cannot see it in your mind, it's just not gonna happen, right? So you gotta believe in yourself. You gotta be able to see where you wanna go. And how can you do that? You can literally just close your eyes and start imagining yourself where you want to go. And I tell you what happened with me was I was growing up here in Zurich in Switzerland, right? Look outside. It's nice and gray, but who cares? It's what matters is on the inside, right? But what happened was when I started swimming like at the age of 7 or 8, the adults around me, they told me I had the Olympic gold dream. I really did, but the adults around me told me, well, they wanted me to be good in school, and they said, well, we'll see about swimming later. You do this and that first and so on. That's like kind of the mentality oftentimes, not always, but oftentimes here in Switzerland. And so that Olympic gold dream, it disappeared. It went away. And I was told to not daydream. I was told to be realistic. I was told to behave like an adult. And that's what I started to do. I started to set my goals around what I thought was realistic. So that would mean, like 2% better, 3% better. But it's like small increments because I always thought what's realistic. And what I didn't know is like how much I limited myself. That Olympic gold dream never came back again. It was like I would win the Swiss championships here in Zurich, right? And then the next year I'd say, well, I want to win it again, or I want to qualify for the Euro Championships. And then I did that. It's like, okay, now I want to qualify for the World Championships. And I did that. And then I said, okay, I want to qualify for the Olympics 2012. And I did that. But it never entered my mind that I could swim in a final. It never entered my mind that I could win a medal or a diploma. Like it wasn't realistic. Right, and that's exactly what I got, because in the end I became 27th in the Olympic Games in London, which is pretty cool. And I did swim a Swiss record on August 1st, which is the Swiss National Day, which is pretty cool. But I got exactly what I believed I was capable of, right? So the first lesson is that you got to be able to see it in your mind. When you're training for the Olympics, you just gotta see it. Okay, so that's number one. Number two is, and that's really ties back to that, don't let anybody influence you when it comes to your big dreams. As a kid, I will argue that most of us, we may not remember, but we had a vivid imagination. And we had wicked, crazy, cool dreams. And as we grow older, most of us are being told to grow up and to be realistic, to be an adult and all that. And the imagination is not gone, but it's like dialed down. But when you think about it, everything that you see that is not grown by Mother Nature, but literally everything, the books, the paper, everything existed as an idea first. It was just a dream. It was just a fantasy. It was just a thought. And then with time, it moved into physical form. And that's the same with an athletic dream. If you have a dream as a kid, as a teenager, as a young adult, don't let anybody influence you. What does Arnold Schwarzenegger say? Don't listen to the naysayers. Don't. He's 100% right. It's been my experience as well. I, unfortunately, did listen because I didn't know better. I know now, so that's why I'm sharing this, right? Because there's a lot of, I don't have regrets because I guess the journey that got me to where I am today, and I'm in a position to help the next generation, the next athletes and coaches, is, it had to happen. So I don't have regrets, but if I could go back in time, you bet these are things that I wish I knew at the time, right? If I could go back, I would have known these things. So don't let anybody influence, because the truth is they don't know. They don't know what you're capable of. You don't even know what you're capable of, because your potential is absolutely limitless. How do I know that? It's like, look at the athletes. Like they said, oh, Michael Phelps, he was the best ever. And well, he did win 8 gold medals in Beijing in 1 Olympic Games, which is absolutely crazy. But they also said nobody's ever going to beat his records and blah, blah, all that. And now their records are falling left and right. They're beating him everywhere. So we can always be better. And by the way, when you look at, like, for example, Cristiano Ronaldo, Roger Federer, Djokovic, all these top athletes, that's why they're so good, because they know they can always be better, right? There is no cap to it. So nobody knows. If there's anybody telling you or thinking they can tell you, this is what you're capable of, this is what your potential is, I'm sorry, but they're full of shit, because they don't know. You don't even know. It's absolutely limitless what you can do, okay? I forgot my third point that I wanted to mention. Yeah, absolutely. So the third point is that you want to create a consistent focus on your goals, right? So if you think about, look, I have a friend, and he's a consultant, and he used to swim, but now he's a consultant. And I asked him about his dream that he has for his job and all that. And he's telling me, well, he's thinking about it about once a month. But what happens if you think about something once a month? What happens if you go to the gym once a month? Not that much, right? But if you have a daily routine where you create a focus on what you would love for your career and your life, your brain, your mind will start to help you every single day, because it wants to help you, but it's got to know what it is. And I give you one example. One of my choices that I make every morning is my ritual takes like 10 minutes a day, 10, maybe maximum 15, where I tune into what I want. And one of them is to be a service to kids. And you just imagine what happens to me when in the morning I close my eyes and I choose the end result of being a service to kids. When I walk around during the day and I come in contact with kids, how do you think I behave? It's absolutely phenomenal. I'm like in tune to being a service, to being a fun young adult, to ask them questions, to play with them, to be in a good mood, to learn from them, right? Because I'm making the choice in the morning. I'm creating that consistent focus that will make the difference in the life, right? Because it's not like what we think about once, it's what we think about all the time. It's about our habits, it's about our routines. So you want to create the consistent focus on your goals. And that's why I'm always saying that mental training, if you agree with me, that the journey to greatness does start in the mind. It's not enough if you train every day for like 3 hours physically and you do nothing for the mind, right? Because again, you can only run as fast as you believe you can run. You can only swim as fast as you believe you can swim, right? And when you actually, research the most successful athletes, the most successful Olympians on the planet, they all know that. They all know that. And they put in the mental work. And they are focused on their goals and their dreams, right? And it's just that, they don't like share it on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and all that. But this work is going on. And this is also, what I've been seeing since I I was done with swimming and now working with professional athletes. It's just absolutely crazy how powerful this is, and the journey to greatness does start in the mind. Okay, so let me quickly repeat the 3 points. Yeah, number one is that if you can't see it in your mind, it's just not going to happen. So you got to be able to see it in your mind. You got to start to believe in yourself. Okay, this is cliche, but it's very true. The second one is that we said you don't want to let anybody influence you when it comes to your big dreams. Nobody knows what you're capable of. And then number 3 is that we said you want to create a consistent focus on your dreams, because it is what you do every day. Aristotle said, he said, we become what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit. Okay? I hope that helps. And if you liked it, smash the like button, hit subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Okay? Ciao, ciao.